Hello everybody, it's Hakakura here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be changing it up some. We're going to be doing Port Swigger's Web Security Academy. Now, I had on another account done like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of these courses, like these little labs or whatever. But I haven't really got into this one. But I do know, and from what I do remember, it is a lot more applicable to the certification that I'm going for. So we are going to get into this. I have Burp Suite open right here, and I'm running this on their browser that they have built in. So find us a course. I don't know. Learning paths. Let's see what this is about. Cool. So we'll go ahead and do authentication. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to follow the same outline that the course that I have that I was taking for the course that I was taking for the certification, kind of what they do. And they started out with authorization and authentication. And I'm just going through here right now looking at stuff. So we will be getting into, this is going to be a regular thing with Port Swigger because I am absolutely sick and tired of Try Hack Me's BS. I really, really dislike that's like what is going to kill me, I think, the most is going after the Security Plus certification, because it's all just like, here's a term, remember the term. We're going to give it to you in a really dumb way, like when you were in school and then they give you like the word problem and tell you to solve it, but it was designed by someone who basically drank their way through college, you know? So anyways, but so this isn't like that. This is like practical stuff. So we will be doing the SQL injection. We'll be doing server-side vulnerabilities, a little bit of this API testing. We won't be getting into LLM attacks, although that would be viable or something, you know, extra to learn for now or for later. File upload vulnerabilities are covered too. CSRF is a little bit, but not much because of the way that it has to initiate. So basically, you have to get the user to click on something or do something, and then it steals their cookie, and then you can basically like log in as them or something like that. Race conditions, not too much. We won't be getting into that. NoSQL, we won't be getting into that. Path traversal, we will be. Cores, I'm not even gonna bother with that, especially because like right now I'm doing bug bounty. This is actually like one of like the #1 or top like 25 or whatever it is. They have a whole list of vulnerabilities that you don't even bother testing for, and this is one of them. Not to say that it's not important, and it is for pen testing, but I'm not a pen tester right now, and I'm not even trying to go for a job as a pen tester right now. GraphQL is basically MySQL for APIs, and I'm very interested in learning this because this is going to be the future of a lot of stuff. I actually have a book I haven't read yet because I've been waiting to get into it. It's called Black Hat GraphQL. So that should be useful. Click checking is another one of those vulnerabilities that is not going to be a thing. Same with prototype pollution. We will be doing SSRF eventually. We won't be doing WebSocket anything. We won't be doing web cache anything either. So some of this stuff we're not even, I mean, I'll take it. I know they have like a certification that you can get at the end of this that people find pretty useful, but so I'll probably do that for those eventually. But right now we're just going to do kind of what's on the course that we cover anyways. And then there's another, like you see right here, cross-site scripting. I don't see anywhere where the cross-site scripting would be unless they cover it under server-side vulnerabilities. Yeah. So anyway, so we're going to start off with authentication. So this learning path explores authentication vulnerabilities which have critical impact on security. Yeah. Common mechanisms and vulnerabilities and strategies for robust authentication. So we're going to go ahead and look at it. So talks about what it is, what's the difference between authentication, authorization. Okay, so it covers that a little bit. And cool. So go ahead and get started. I haven't gone through this or anything, so I don't know if it's gonna dime me out for IP addresses or any of that garbage. I don't really care. I really don't. Yeah. So make sure I get the chats all pulled up. And we'll put some music on too, so we're not just sitting here. That's for you guys and for me too a little bit. And we'll go with the not so annoyingly loud one. Yeah. So here we are. Authentication is the process of verifying the identity of a user or client. Really? Really? Okay. Something you know. Yeah. Might have to go in and set the scope so I'm not having to look at all that nonsense when it's popping up. Alright, authentication is the process of verifying that a user is who they claim to be. Yeah. So you authenticate, say, hey, I'm this person. And they go, okay, you can access the snack machine. Yeah, that's how it works. Wait a minute, what? Did that, okay. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, what's the difference? Continue. It kept, I don't know, doing weird stuff. I just want to make sure it wasn't like I didn't, you know, double click or something and it skipped over a page. So most vulnerabilities and authentication mechanisms occur in one of two ways. The authentication mechanisms are weak because they fail to adequately protect against brute force attacks. So not doing rate limiting or attempt to limiting, right? And also I have seen too, like very poorly implemented captchas that, oh my gosh, they like, I was doing one the other day. I think it was on stream and I was passing the thing the whole time, but it just like, it made me do like 40 of the damn things, you know? It was a pain in the butt. Impact of authentication vulnerabilities can be severe. Really? Indeed. I'd say that most places have pretty good like login stuff now. But that's where like that CSRF comes into a play, is if you can manage to do stuff like that. Most like crazy vulnerabilities are, or like crazy stuff happens via chaining multiple vulnerabilities together and getting access to their systems. And then once you get access on their systems, you gain persistence on their systems. Password-based login vulnerabilities. Woohoo! They're gonna let us brute force something. One problem is that I don't have sec lists or anything like that downloaded on this computer. I might have to do that. So we can get through the stuff. I don't have the, because I'm doing this just on my Windows box. I don't have any I have Port Swigger because I was going to do it on Windows. I was like, screw it, I'll just start doing my stuff on Windows as opposed to Linux. But I cannot tell you how much I dislike Windows. Words do not do it justice how much I absolutely despise Windows as an operating system. The only thing that I appreciate about them is the Windows Defender. That's it. Everything else is, they don't let you. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. I'll spaz out, man. Never mind. Don't listen to me. Yeah. can't remember when or where I was reading it, but it's either a tool, tool / program or something like that, or like a setting in a tool or program where like complex usernames, you can guess them using or instead of enumerating through a username list, it will enumerate through, or a password list, it will enumerate through a password that you give it. So like say that you suspect that someone is logging in with like their kid's name, but there's like different upper and lowercase stuff with it and all this, like it'll guess all that stuff. I thought it was pretty cool when I was like, I can't remember where I saw that, but I thought that was pretty neat. Oh, brother. Brute forcing usernames. Yeah. So I think that the way that this works, from what I remember, is they give you like an info dump, and then they give you like a series of labs that kind of go over it. Yeah. And they also, from what I remember too, they also slow walk you. They slow walk you through some of the stuff. So like, I think I remember taking like a couple of these, and I think like the first one, the status code changes, and then the next time it doesn't. And so it's like kind of like they slow walk you into reality or whatever. Yeah. Cool. We have a lab. So the lab is vulnerable to username enumeration and password brute force attacks. It has an account with a predictable username and password, which can be found the following word list. So we are going to open the link in the new tab. That's nice. It provides us with word lists, so we don't have to go do this. Hold down. Copy. Open up a WordPad here, and this is usernames. Control V, and we'll save it as desktop PS USN. Names auth. Save that there. We'll open up the other one. Look at the passwords. That's nice. I'm glad I don't have to go to frickin' sec lists and download that, although it probably would be helpful. Maybe not. You never know. PS EWD S auth. Save. All right. We don't need you open. We don't need you. Actually, I'll pop you back up. Make you go away. Roll. Rid of this. We are going to clear the history, access the lab. Hopefully this doesn't give us a buttload of things. Okay. So we'll get a better look at this. So we just got a log. We can view posts since there's no point in us going and looking at these because we're doing an authentication bypass. Good weirdos. So there's no point in us like clicking through here trying to find anything. Although under normal circumstances we would go right into that. So we're going to go to the My Account section and get this thing to go back here. So log in. Here we are. It referred to us with a cookie session. Or a session cookie. In the form of that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to log in with the username. I don't know what it wants us to do, but we're just going to go and type in the password test. And we're going to do that so we can get the login thing. What are you doing? Hold on. Proxy settings. And I am oh my gosh, I can't remember scope. There we are. portswigger.net, which is what we're doing. You added item. Okay, so we don't want out of scope stuff, so we're going to say yes. Exit out of that because I don't want it There's no reason it needs to be doing that for our YouTube. All right, so I haven't done any of that, any login yet. Just gonna see what else it does. Gives us a WebSocket key. This is a base 64, so we could decode that if we wanted to. But we're gonna go ahead and log in, or attempt to log in and see what it does. What it do? We're going to re-enable that, and we'll do it again since I guess we'll just deal with whatever. Okay, so we get a login thing now, and it sends us to this. So we're gonna press. I just clicked on it. I'm gonna press Control I to send it to Intruder. Also do right up there too. And from here, this is where we're gonna add our stuff. We have a username, and I didn't see anything on there, but first you should always just hit clear, because sometimes it auto selects. I don't know if it does that anymore. I haven't seen it do it in a long time, so I think they took that out, which is nice. But we're going to add this, and we're going to add this. Now, if we wanted to, like, so this just gave us an invalid username only, which means that maybe testing is one of the ones. So we're going to clear that out because it just gave us an invalid username. Now we don't know if that is they're just trying to hoodwink us or not, but we're going to try anyways, just because it just gave us the invalid username. So we're just going to brute force, we're just going to brute force or attempt a dictionary attack with the username to see what user we can enumerate with the testing. So we're going to leave it on sniper, and we're going to get our payload, and we're going to load the username. We're going to load the username one here. So this gives us all the username from the word list that they gave us. And we'll go ahead and exit out of that, and we'll start the attack. It shouldn't take too long, even though I'm on the community edition. And remember, it said to keep an eye on the status codes and the lengths. So I don't expect anything from this, being that we're not doing the username and password at the same time. And you can see it's going pretty slow. We'll see if we have any different status codes. Responses. And you can go in here and view the response to not solved. So we're gonna say we're gonna put that there as a filter, or like a keyword search for the responses, just to see. So it should take us, like, there's two items that match that, right? That and right there. We're looking for this one to turn into solved. But I don't expect it with this particular one that we're running. I just noticed that. And the content length is 3140. Oh, that's the response. And you can see it put our username from our list and left the testing alone. And we're at 64. So this is going to take a while. 303. Oh, that's not what I was going to say. I got confused for a minute. And we'll see what's going on with the content length. It's all 3248. There's no differences. And it's all showing 200. So this right here is what I should set the scope at. I should set it to star websecurityacademy.net. And then it would give us any of this stuff up here for the things. And we're just gonna have to wait. Like I said, I don't predict that it would be successful. But it did tell us that. Invalid username. And that's all it said. But it could be just trying to hoodwink us, like I said too. But you gotta try your stuff, all your stuff. We'll make it a little smaller so it can fit on the screen better. No better. Hopefully that'll stay that size. See if any of these links changed. Okay, we got a 3250. It's not overly different. The response received is sorta kinda. This is interesting too. So real response received and but the length's not overly different either. Usually when something's successful, or it'll like literally pop out at you. It like the, you know, this will obviously be one of only whatever the codes are, like 100, 200, 300, 500, 400, 500. But the responses and the lengths will really pop out. Hopefully we'll see that when it gets through. So okay, so it's done, and most of these are 3248 in length, except for this 3250. So we will try Argentina, and the response received is a little different too. And we'll try announcements because that's a little different as well. And we didn't get any response code differences. So we're going to try Argentina and announcements. I have a notepad pulled up on my other screen so I can so it capitalized it for me. So I'll do that. So we'll go ahead and we'll X out of this. I'm going to discard because I don't want to keep it in memory. I'm not sure that these will work, but we're going to go ahead and give it a try. And it was testing. Login. See, now it says incorrect password. So it's flip-flopping on us. So we'll do the same thing again. Announcements and testing. And now it says invalid username. So it's kind of all over the place with this. right? So we know that these two usernames should be, well, I don't know if they should be on there, but it's, part of the, username list that they gave us. So we're going to come back to here to this attack, and we're going to select the testing, and we're going to add that. We're going to switch this to a allocate a payload set to each position. Intruder iterates through each set payload. All possible combinations. So we're going to do the cluster bomb. I think that the pitchfork attack would work good too, but we're going to go for number one, and we have our usernames here, which is already added. So we'll leave that how it is. And now we're going to set the second one, and we'll get that passwords. So we have passwords and we have usernames. We'll go ahead and start the attack. It should be what? How many? 10,001? No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to. We'll do this pitchfork. That's right. That's better. So remember to, when you're doing some of these labs, not always, but it's trying to have you run through 10,000 of them, like that's pretty crazy. Now, normally I would not sit here and wait for this stuff to go, I would go to like FFUF or some other tool that does it just a lot better, right? And then also too, just as an aside, it did mention Carlos as one of the users in the previous like info dump sections, the slides. So when we're done, we're probably going to take like Carlos, admin, and administrator, and we're gonna probably run those three through a cluster bomb attack if this is not successful. Okay, we're looking at length. There's no big length changes. Responses seem to be in the 180s. So if we get anything that's really far off, that's probably a good sign. Yep. And status codes, it's not giving us any difference in status codes. Because 10,000 payloads is going to take way too long to run. It's going to take way too long to run. Because I have burp community. So it throttles this. And also, from what I remember too, is if you get the right one, it actually changes this to solved. Now they may have like fixed that. I don't know. I did this a long time ago. Not a long time. Well, you know what I mean. Like enough to where they might have updated. So the only thing that I see that is kind of different is this response of 392 and 382. So we're going to try administrator and 123 QWE. I could spell it. see if that gets us. Nope, didn't get us. So we are going to do our payload again, but this time I'm gonna make my own custom list, and I'm gonna say Carlos admin administrator. I'm just gonna do those three because I'm pretty sure that Carlos is the one. And what that's going to do is hopefully speed up our brute force attack, so we're not having to do that. So we're going to go payload, go back up here to there. We're going to clear that out. We're going to load our custom username list, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do cluster bomb. So, and that should give us 400 once. Yeah. So it's going to run Carlos, admin, and administrator through each one of these password sets, and my username too. Actually, hold on. We're gonna go discard. We're gonna clear all, and I'm gonna change it to Carlos, and then I'm gonna add clear again. Sorry, because I know it's not mine. They're not gonna have me in there as a person for their stuff. And that again, and we're just going to remove, I just removed Carlos from the custom username list, and I better that white space just in case it doesn't empty one. I saved it again. We're going to clear this payload out again, and we're going to load that back up. So it should just be Carlos, admin, and administrator. And that'll reduce the test by 100, or it should. Yep, it did. Just to save a little bit more time. And if I'm being honest, it'd probably be a lot better if I did hack on Windows, but I want to keep my hacking stuff and all that separate from my personal PC or my streaming setup, because sometimes when you're doing the hacking stuff just goes sideways. You know, you can jack up your systems. So we can see at 141 here. I don't know what this is. We can, again, we had that response. Missing parameter. Okay. What did I do? So it seems like, hold on, I messed that up, you know. So it seems like it's it didn't put the username in for that. So we're gonna go discard, and we're going to clear that, and we're gonna just add my username back in there, add it back in. And then we're gonna have to modify this again. Oops. Save. I guess we're just gonna have to endure the long Port Swigger thing. Again, this is the reason why I don't use this. I use Kaido because they throttle the stuff. I know, like, they gotta make their money and everything like that, but still, it's like, come on, guys, quit being jerks, you know? So go ahead and minimize this. I have to come over here. Gotta deal with these people. Bye, bud. Don't come to my stream and spam your links. Okay? That ain't right. It's not right to do to people. People are dumb, and they will go and look at your stuff. And I don't trust you guys to not be harming other people the way the world is right now. I know how you are. Okay, was this one that was already done? That's finished. Okay, so we don't want to... Oh, I didn't mean to do that either. So this is our one that's running right now. Can't see anything because I have here. So we got a 400 response. And I don't know why I did that, but it's a missing parameter. So it seems like their status code isn't going to tell us jack shit. And so we're going to be relying on length and response time to determine whether or not this is successful. And it should also, I can't remember if it has a thing, but we're also going to have a not solved. Not solved. So we have one match there. So next time we go to here, one match. Oh, you guys can't see that, it's behind my head. Yet another reason why I hate Windows. This is right, one match. And we got a bunch of these 141s. And again, we'd be able to filter that out, but it's pro only, you know, so there's like a lot of features they don't let you have access to. So none of those are particularly different except for the 141s, and we know that that is from it not entering the username, the base username. So it seems like it's going to be a response time sort of thing. And one match on the not solved right there. So hopefully they fixed it to where you actually have to log in, you know, like I have to get it from here and then take that and then enter it in here, and then once I hit that. But we're at 117. Just going to be the way of it. It's just what's going to have to happen. It's going to take forever because these guys don't want you having fun without paying. I might end up setting up OBS on my hack box, so that way I can use the good tools that, you know, only take like for 400 requests. That would take like FFUF, which is not a like fuff. It would only take it like a few seconds to run through this. We gotta sit here and wait for minutes. Those look promising. Says one match. Nothing. 400. And it's not always up here. Sometimes it's like down a little ways too. So we got that. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Carlos one. 251, one match. One match. So it's fairly significantly different than the 180, whatever. We still have quite a bit left. Payload 1. Payload 2. Okay, so we'll do Carlos. That's another thing too that I wish it would do, is stick this here first. And then like leave that like that when I click this. One match. Length. There's nothing particularly out of place except for the 141s, and we know again that's because it's got the missing username, which is from what we entered in before. So I guess we're just gonna kind of have to sit here until it's done doing its thing. You know what's funny is I almost want to try this. I bet I could go find out. I don't know if FUF can be downloaded and used on Windows, but I bet if it could, I could go download it, install it, and use it before this scan got done on Berksy. Let's go 80. Well, we know that not the username I'm using right now, or username list that I'm using right now, but we know that the usernames should work because they provided it to us. And like I said, the last time I went through here, I think it was Carlos that I ended up getting the correct thing for. Not, we're gonna have to go back to that 10,000 long word list. Another way that I could get around that is, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's Carlos, is to just put Carlos in the username and just run the password list against it. That would reduce it to 100 requests, but we're doing that right now. So if it doesn't pop up this go, I don't know why that would stop it. We're at a not solved. Just going through here, you can see that little, right down here, the little thing when it go to the next deal and it makes it blue for a second. I'm just looking to see if it says not solved and everything. It would show us generally, I think, in the application, tell us that the lab is solved. I was just looking at all these. Was that response received? Blank status code. Just to make things a little bit more easier to read for ourselves, since we don't have those. Hold on, why don't we just error and timeout? We're going to remove those. Cool. Since we kind of don't need them. There we go. Make it a little bit easier to read. Where are we at? We're at 248. 400. This is like the stores that rearrange their aisles like every quarter to make you spend more time in the store. I don't know about you, but that annoys the crap out of me. I actually, the first time that a store ever did that to me, it was a store called Safeway, and I literally stopped shopping there because of it. I was like, I'm not relearning. If I'm gonna have to relearn something, I'm gonna go to a whole new store, and just like, why not? You know, the store I ended up going to is comparable in price, but. And then they started doing it too, which I think that's messed up. I really do. I think that they, you know, like they did it like once a year, or you know, once every 5 years. That would be good. But I'm talking like this store had been the same setup since I was a freaking kid. Like, I've been shopping there that long, since I was a small child, like, so I knew where everything's at. And I go in there and their store is completely rearranged. I mean, like, and then not even in a logical fashion either, you know? So, we're lucky I'm not a spaz. It's the type of shit that drive you insane and make you want to wreck stuff. This is looking the most promising as far as the content length's the same, but get that 306 response, but it says that there's no change, that it's not solved, so. We'll just go through it. I don't want to sit here for a 10,000 word list thing having to be subjugated to this, you know. I don't even like this. This is too much. It's taking too damn long. We don't need to be sitting here through all this stuff. I don't want to waste your guys' time. I don't want to waste my time either. So I wonder if we just did. And we go add bin. So it said invalid username. So I wonder if we did it again. Close, and we did pass. Carlos QWERTY123. So it says invalid username the whole time, which means it might not be Carlos that we're looking for. Response received. Administrator. $248. Is there anything like way different besides the 141? Oh, not much. Status code. No different. Desktop. Yes, auth. Usernames. Locate a payload set to each position. Intruder iterates through each set in parallel. We're almost done, so I'll just wait for it to get done. Seems like we're going to spend a lot of our time waiting on these, when we are doing these intruder style attacks, we're going to be waiting on this. Also, if I could do it right too. So it's 3248 all around. That's the same. The status codes are the same. We're ignoring the 400s because we know why. There's no payload in the thing, so it's a missing parameter. Where are you? Let's see, missing parameter. So we can ignore that. And most of the responses, they got all kinds of stuff in here. From what I recall too, because I've done this lab in particular, is that it was hiding. What the heck? It was hiding, like from what I remember, it was not apparently clear. Like all the advice that they gave us, where it said, hey, look at the status code and the length, it was like wrong. It was nothing. It was like, it looked the same. It was all the same. So like if all of these were like 181s and this was a 200 and these were 3248, it was like that. And I was like, all right, well, I don't see anything. So I just clicked here and I did that keyword thing like I did before. So it showed us the not solved. And then I just arrowed down and it was like the third or fourth one. But there was nothing remarkable about it at all. So after this, our option is going to be to run. I'm going to see, open new window. I don't want my, okay. Oh, brother. So I guess my next question is, I'm over here looking at how to do FFUF on here. Okay, so it's just telling us in the terminal to run go. installing Go on my Windows here, so we can do install FFUF. Next, accept the terms. That's fine. Install. I hope it adds it to the path and I don't have to do anything. Alright. So we have 349. Like, I know I put Go support on my VS Code because it's one of the languages I want to learn. After I'm done doing Python a little bit, I have a couple things I want to make with it. I'm one of those we're making right now with the dev stream. When that is done and over with, or those two things are done and over with, I'm going to start trying to learn another language, and I am going to go to C++, and the reason for that is because that was actually the first language that I programmed in, and I kind of want to get it done, you know. So Go is installed. There we go. You fucking sucker. I hate Windows. Oh my god, I hate Windows. Fucking PowerShell, go fuck yourself. Oh, really? Huh. So the internet just gave me bad information. Surprise, surprise. Okay. And we're going to copy this, and we're going to Control V. So I'm installing FFUF so maybe we don't have to deal with this extremely long, unnecessary wait times of this throttle tool by this company. And if it's not downloading a virus or anything to my computer, we should be able to run it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. FFUF-H. Okay, cool. File containing the raw request. So the default is HTTPS. So I'm going to go ahead and craft this FFUF payload. So we're going to go FFUF-rec or -request. And then we're going to have the that's what I'm going to end up naming it, but I'm just putting it there so we have that dash proto, and then -w, and then the path to the word list. And I'm going to have to here less virtual box code CD desktop C okay PWD path. But I wonder if for okay. I don't know because I've never ran FFUF on Windows. I do not know if you have to because it's the path to the word list, right? And then this would be, what's the name of that file? We're gonna go ps pwd-sau-th.txt. So that's gonna be our thing there. And the request. I don't know if we need to do the URL if we're going to do the request. I'm going to go back over here to intruder. Excuse me, we're going to proxy, and we're going to send this to repeater. Get a better look at it. Control A to select all. We're going to copy this and save it into a file. Control V. And we are going to put Carlos's name in here. And we are going to say fuzz. Okay, we're going to save it. And we're going to save it as rec.txt. We're going to save on the desktop. Save. So that's saved. It might give us an error because this rec.txt is not in the same file path as our FUF is. I don't believe that I added it to or I don't believe I added it to the path. It should have done it automatically, but or it should have, like when we ran the go, it should have done that automatically, but I don't know if it did. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. So it defaults to HTTPS. This is our request. We altered that. It's gonna fuzz where that is with the passwords. So we're gonna give it a shot. Error. Either error or input command or W or input command flag is wrong. So it's the W. So we're just going to eliminate that. Add space. Control C. Control Shift V. Give that a shot now. It's still wrong. But it's finished. Also, so let's go ahead and save that, and we're gonna exit that. Okay, what did it do? It's not 141, 3248. Response received 179. This is just a clusterfuck, bro. All right. We're gonna discard. I don't want to keep it in memory. That's for damn sure. We're gonna go payloads. Packet for clear it out. We're gonna load. We're gonna do the usernames. We're gonna go testing. We got the passwords. Simple list. 10,000 freaking things. You gotta be shitting me, dude. Well, while it's doing this, we are going to be trying to figure out how to run FUF on Windows, because it's not working correctly. And we know that it was our word list that is wrong. And I wonder if, because we have it, hold on. We have it doing this here. I wonder it, because everything that it refers to is all forward slashes. And we could do it this way too, where we enter the URL, but I don't think that's the way to go. It might be though. And it also might be because this is not in the same file or directory as this. I just don't know. And it gave us this. So we haven't used this input command flag, or the input command flag is required. What is this? Command producing the input. Input -num is required when using the input method. Overrides. We don't need that one. I don't think so. So hopefully Port Swigger is nice to us and doesn't make us frickin' run through the whole thing. But I doubt it. We're an hour and a half. We're halfway through our stream here. And we've spent most of our time waiting on the thing. I know that the path is right, and it said that too when I had the little C and the colon there as well. So I took that out first just to be sure. The request proto defaults to HTTPS, So we would have to specify if it was HTTP. We saved the request.txt there, and it's not giving us any problems with that. So it's saying that this is the problem. And the thing is that the request.txt is in the same location as this. So what are we doing wrong with that? Should I just change the... I doubt it. I doubt it's that freaking simple. Because this is like a, you know, does it just require this format? We'll see. After this, I'm going to go seek out like a, yeah, I'm going to go look for a, open new window. I'm going to look for an FFUF tutorial for Windows. All right. Yeah. Installation instructions. Okay. So I was kind of right with that. Terminal. It is FFU UF dash request rec txt dash W for the word list, and then the path of the word list, which is, I have to go see. CD desktop. So users. Yes, passwords. Control-C. Control-V. That's what it should be. I did not put a request protocol in there. Could not open the file. The system cannot find the file specified. Rec. What did I put in? I did. Do I have to put the file path to that too? try it anyway. Oh, sure shit. So we just did that one to test out, and we tried just Carlos is the username. I entered that, and then we don't have anything very different at all. So this time we're going to do this. That's nice. And we're gonna have two, we're gonna have to modify this request. And we're gonna have 2 word lists, and then we're gonna have to do you know, whatever that is. So let's go here, and we're gonna go and copy this here. B, and we're going to F U S N, and let me pull up. I don't need that anymore now that I know it. It's gonna run. Nope. I need to. Where are you at? Sorry, I'm getting all disorganized for you. So we're gonna say USN, and we're just gonna leave the password as fuzz. We're gonna Control S, and I think we're gonna have to add a new flag in here for a cluster bomb attack. So we're going to, now that we know that it works like that, I'm gonna copy this, open up this, and then we're going to go -W again, and it's going to go to here, Control C, Control V, and can't save that for now. Passwords, Control C, Control V, and fuzz. Okay, so we have 2 word lists. We have the path to our desktop, and just so you know, I guess you have to use the // and not the backslashes. So in our, see the difference? So I assumed that it was like that, but it's nice that it leaves it like this, and you have to put the path to the thing if it's not in the same file. And I'm guessing the reason why this is because we didn't add this to the path, or we didn't add go to the path, or whatever. So this is our request that should do this, and I need to make sure now that we don't need to do a different style attack, like have to put like a different attack. Here you'll see. Mode, multi-word list operation mode. Available modes, cluster bomb, pitchfork. So we're gonna have to do the default is cluster bomb, which is what we're running right now in the other one. So we're just gonna type -mode into that, and hopefully that will get us to the correct one. And we're gonna put this after there. It's just one dash. Okay. So this should be our payload. Click down here, Control V. Okay, request. Yep. Mode. Got our different things. And -W. Runs. Okay, mode. Input mode, -mode. -W, not recognized. What did I do wrong? Alright, so we're gonna name it anyway. How about that? And it runs. So we're getting a bunch of stuff up here. And since it's kind of all the same here for the size, screw it. We're just going to let it run through. It's not going to take that long. And we know that it should get us the correct one and should solve the lab. Because look, this is at 235. I downloaded, installed, and figured out how to run this. And we're already at 700. See what I'm saying? Like when they throttle you like that and they don't let you, you know, do stuff. It's really bad. And you could also save this to a file and kind of go through the things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it run through the entirety of this, and hopefully it will automatically detect that it logged on and give us a lab solved thing. And then what I'll do again, just to, like, even though we will have solved the lab because we're brute forcing here, we're doing a dictionary attack, Red Wolf, but I'll go through and I'll filter out for the size, the words, etc., etc. So we're doing 22 requests a second. I'm not seeing this change all that much. It's going to like 31, 42 every now and again. Looking for really big drastic changes. Sometimes it doesn't do that though. 2000, and if we go back to here, it's at 249. So this is promising because it's just so crazy, this number. So administrators and password, we'll try that. Not solved. Suppose we could just go to here and go for the response. Not solved. That's gonna match to Apollo. Not solved. Ajax. See this? That's so crazy. Not solved. Argentina and password. I think we already tried this one in another thing that we did. Atlas. Yeah, so the tool you use really matters, helps make a difference. We're already nearly halfway through running this. And we're doing that. We're doing this on top of. So this is what I like. The problem is, right? So I'm live streaming, right? I don't want to waste your guys' time, but I'm live streaming here, and we're an hour and 46 minutes into it, nearly at 2 hours. So I'm only going to 3, and we haven't even got through the first frickin' lab. And this is not hard. Like, it's really not. Like like. I really wish I could show you the labs for, or at least like 1 or 2 of the labs for the cert that I'm taking, because I mean, it should not take this long. It would take even less time if I filter for size. And the status code, yeah, I've not seen that change at all. But I've seen the size change a couple times. But what I would imagine is going to happen is every now and again when you see that this number switch to another number, right, that 0, when you do that, it's probably changing this too on occasion. So when this gets done, because it's not going to take much more time, we're at 6,000 of 10,000. If it doesn't give us a lab solved, I'm going to filter the size out, and I'm going to take this 3140 out, and it's probably going to reduce this from, 10,000 results down to, a very small amount. But you can kind of see what it's doing here. It's running through all of this, all the usernames for this password, and then all the usernames for the next password, and so on. But there's no reason that's probably why I should be doing this on my hack box, is because I have all these tools on there. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to knock out, 3 to 5 of these labs in a couple hours. There's just no reason for it, man. It's uncalled for. It's uncalled for. Minimize that. See where this is at. Status code. There are no different status codes. $228 and not solved. 852. That's probably the most promising one as far as that, but it's just response time, response received, and the length hasn't really changed all that much. So we do have this though, that also says not solved. Match. $32.50. That's not all that different. It's $32.48 seems to be the standard. And I think so the discrepancy in the length here between this and this is probably referring to a different size, but it's also probably in the way that the app, the program works. So we're gonna minimize this. I'll just reload this and see. Yeah, continue. So we have a not solved. So I'm going to go here again, and I'm going to do a FS, and I'm going to get that 3140 out of there and see what it does now. So anytime it's a 3142. And we can kind of confirm that with this one. Argentina and what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know that didn't solve it. Otherwise, Burp would have done it. But another thing too is that it seems to be that the Argentina is the one that has us getting stuff. 1307. So there's no other determining thing, like none of this word is different. The lines are different. They're all the same. The only thing that's different is the size. But I would be like slightly concerned if none of this was found, even after going through the word list that they suggested we did. And seeing the difference. 3248. Where are we at here? So it seems like Argentina is the only username that's popping up. It's got a different size, not different on the words. We'll see. It's the only one that's different. Probably also designed this way too, to kind of spit you out results that you gotta sift through. I see no difference in status quo codes. I've not seen that difference on the FFUF either. About the only thing that is consistent between Burp and the FFUF is that the drastic content lengths here between this username and the passwords that it shows, but it's also doing that for other stuff too, so on Burp at least, but I don't know what the deal is with this. Remember, we filtered everything out that wasn't this 3142 size. So while this is running too, I'm gonna go use the bathroom right quick. All right, I'm back. I still don't see any kind of difference in the size or the word length. There's one. Status 302. I just scrolled up. Words. So that's very different. This particular request is very different. We're gonna go Control C. Where's my notepad? Control V. Just because it was so different, it's a redirect though, which is probably correct. Because remember, it should automatically update. So it might have, when it did that, it might have redirected. Although it could have been when I was messing around and clicking that too. So size, go through here. We might run this again and filter out all the 3142s as well. We're very near the end. We'll do that as well. So we're going to do that again. And I can't remember if it does it have to have a comma. 3142. I do that. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. Nope, it's, hold on. See, because it's not here. So 3142. It might just be a space. Okay, that's good. So we saw right here. So it's filtering out both of those. So far, the only unique thing that we've seen is from, it gives us a 302 status, which is different from the 200s, which is all we've seen. It's different in the size from all the rest, and that it's not 3142 and it's not 3140. Yeah, 3140. Everything else is the same, and it's this username and that password. So we're gonna go ahead, we're running it again just to be sure. Again, this is proving that we haven't gotten anything else unique besides that. But we're gonna go over to this burp suite and see if it has ran that already. And we're gonna go Argentina and see what it says. So it seems like it hasn't gotten that. We're gonna go payload to T. It's gonna be all the way up here because it's a number. And it's 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, whatever. Looking for that. And I don't see it at all. It's only on 363. So this just shows you, like, your tools matter. They can save you time, right? Right tool for the job, correct? I ran through 2 of those tests, right? Was like, oh, I don't know how to run this on Windows. I'm gonna have to learn how. I downloaded Go and this tool and went and learned how to use it on Windows specifically and messed around with that. And now I'm on the 3rd run of this same amount word list, and we're not even at 367. So, like, screw these dudes. I know that's how they make their money and everything, but still, that's fucked up, dude. That's jacked up. That's too much. And that's why I use Kaido. Now I'll tell you this. I would probably end up using Burp Suite when I actually go pay for a web proxy. When I go to buy the license, I will probably buy Burp Suite just because it has more community support with it and more existing tools already added to it, so you don't have to change very much, you know. I'm not saying it's not a good tool. I understand they have to make their money, but you know, they're kind of dicks for doing that. You know, I'd almost rather be charged for a subscription to their web app academy than have to pay for their proxy tool. Because that's the thing too. And the reason why, so there's two reasons why. First of all, they throttle this and they lock this behind Pro, so you can't even use basic, right? Which makes it cost you more time. Okay. In addition to that, they don't let you save even one project. If they let me save one project, I would use other tools that did this type of stuff better, but they won't even let you save one project. So that, to me, that's like the deal breaker. That's why I use Kaido over Burp Suite, is because of those reasons. Pretty close. So it's seeming like the only response that we should see is this one up here. And I'm gonna bet, I would bet that that is the correct thing, but we're just doing another verifying run, which will be nice. Hopefully it'll do that for us again, and we can remove the other one. And it would make sense too, because if you 301 response and it's a redirect. Oh, move permanently. Oh, permanent redirection. Yeah. So this should mean, now hopefully that didn't happen accidentally when I went and I clicked the refresh on that, because I think that the tool was running. So that might have induced that. Oh, it's a 302, excuse me. Why did it say it? Because I read it wrong. I swear I have dyslexia. I swear, man. Like, I'm not. Oh my god, dude. So we'll let this run. See, I don't mind waiting 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes on stream for a scan to do, but man, you go running this 385 in the space that it took us to run. This is the third iteration, so this is 37,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the matter with you people? Bunch of cocksuckers, bunch of dicks. And this is just, I could enter this right now, and I just want to be sure, because that, you know, it's 10,000 freaking things like this that were popping up, and then hundreds of them before we filtered out this 3142. So this, like, in my mind, this has to be the one, unless another one pops up. That's why I'm letting it go through. But it has to be the one, because there's no other ones that have different status codes and different sizes, which are the two of the things in the previous stuff that it asked us to look for, right? And we're not going to cheese the solution yet until we like, if I enter this and it gives me the wrong thing, I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna be like, the fuck's going on here? You know, I'm gonna be mildly upset, like green Tabasco levels. You know what I mean? Which is really good on biscuits and gravy, by the way. Just saying. Almost there. Almost there. And it didn't give us any more. So we're gonna minimize this. We're gonna bring up our thing, and we're gonna say Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. I might even spell Artina wrong. Okay, email. So we solved that. So that's good. So we can make this go away. We're going to discard. So from here on out, we are going to be using FFUF for our web request things that we can use it for. Okay? Because I am not waiting. I'm not having you guys sit through Burp Suite stuff. That's just not right. It's boring, you know? Cool. Congratulations. We did that. We'll log out. You know, normally we would have saved that email too for further enumeration, for further things to help us, you know? So we're going to refresh this and it should say solved. We're good. Cool. Let's make sure the solution. Yeah. So it tells you how to do that. Start attack. When the attack is finished, examine the length column, which we did. Notice that no other responses contain invalid username, but this response says incorrect password. Okay. So we kind of did do this when we were messing around, and it was giving us, sometimes it would give us invalid usernames, sometimes it would give us incorrect passwords. So the reason why that is a thing is because if it's telling you which is which, well then, you know, those ones that we entered into where it was just giving us the incorrect password, well then we know that the username is valid. And the ones that said invalid username, we know that that someone has that password that we entered, but it was the wrong user. So you can kind of like work backwards or sideways or whatever, you know? So we did that. We got all through the thing. All right, except for one, we got a 302 response. Okay, cool. So we done did it. We are the smartest people alive. You and me now. Tell the world. Okay. We're gonna come over here and I'm gonna exit out of those if it'll let us. Proxy, HTTP history, and we're going to just wait until we go to the next thing, right? So the next one should be a little bit more difficult. Oh, so we have a number of labs that we have to do. This lab is subtly vulnerable to username enumeration and password brute force attacks. It has an account with a predictable username and password, which can be found in the following list. We're gonna go ahead and open that up. I should open it in a new tab. We're gonna go ahead and open a new tab. I don't think that these are different. I think it uses the same exact one for the whole time. So we don't need to do any of that at all. We are going to access the lab. And when we come in here, I should have cleared out the history. Oh, cool. We beat it. So let's look at this real quick. Just see what it's doing. I always like to do this. So yep. Mm-hmm. That's what we need. Where are you? There you are. Gives us a cookie. Then uses this. So it's a hash. It's a base 64 converted hash. Yeah. I just wanted to see what it was. So post. What we do? Gives us another cookie, a big one, a big one. Huh. All right, rolling right along. We're gonna go ahead and make this a thing here. So again, we're just dealing with authentication. We're not even gonna look at the rest of the website because this is all we're gonna be doing. And delete selected items. Yeah, we don't need login. Analytics. Okay. So we're just going to do another and testing. Get that one in. We got that post request, which gives us our username and password that we can then send over to Intruder. We're going to send it to Repeater because again, I'm not dealing with the extremely long crap burp suite intruder thing. But just like we did before, you go to burp intruder, you set your payloads, right? You clear it, clear all. Say this was your pass or your username, you add that there, and your password, you add that there, and then you run a simple list, and then for P3 it would say up here you select that, and then you load in your word list. Then you go back up here, you select the other field, and you load in your other word list, and then you saw in the last one how long it takes. I actually had to do it a couple times. But we're going to go to Repeater again, and we're going to go Control A and Control C. And we're going to open our, clicked on this, where we at? We are going to just override our previous one and put our new one in. And we're going to say FUZ. So we'll go username FUZZ. Username fuzz PWD fuzz. Okay, we're going to save that. And our stuff is going to be FFUF test rec.txt dash request photo, which is automatically defaulted to HTTPS. Then we're going to go dash mode cluster bomb, and then our first word list, which is users desktop, and I forget what the frick the name is for the thing. Hold on, I have this here. Why don't I just do this, and instead of having to type all this out again, we'll see. Enter. So, oh yeah, see, I would have messed up that. You do the path to that request, and again, I think that's because I don't have this in the path, so I can't run it from anywhere. And if you look too, I am in this folder, so I'm running this program from this folder, not in the path. So I have to specify the path to the request as well, I think. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to leave the filter size. And I can't even remember. What did we save that yet? Username fuzz. Username fuzz. PWD fuzz. Right? Yep, everything else should be the same because the word lists are the same. Everything else should be the same. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to run this. Control C. And when we get into this, we're going to have to see if, we're going to have to filter and all that. Because this one says there's a slightly different. What the fuck? Hold on, sorry. I'll let it do its. Hopefully that'll work. There we go. Cool. So it said on here that lab is subtly vulnerable to username enumeration password brute force. It has an account with a predictable username and a password, which can be found using the following word list. So we're just gonna, it says enumerate a valid username. And a way that we could do this too would be to just run usernames against it with a regular password and then look through. We'll do that while this is running in the background. We'll do that on Intruder so we can see if there's any difference. And I don't know what kind of filtering we're going to have to do, so we're going to have to come through and filter too. If we why dash request dash mode cluster bomb username fuzz password fuzz. Why aren't you doing it? Last time you gave me your reasons why. Oh, is it because I was in damn, no, we're in the same thing. So what's going on? Hold on, I gotta figure this out. Request username fuzz password fuzz, same thing. Request proto. I didn't include the request protocol, that's why. Let me do it again. Dash mode. Okay, so now it's giving me an error. Good. So it's with my user, my W, dash W, because there's no space there and there's no space there. See how it turned white? And hold on. This, Control C. My apologies, I am trying to be perfect. Okay, get out of our face. You should be going. Nope, you're not gonna go. Why not? Dash W. The input command. Did I get the request wrong? USN fuzz PWD fuzz. Nope. Usernames, passwords, request.txt, which or rec.txt, which is what we're using. So where am I going wrong? It says -w. Oh. Okay. All right, let me I'm going to send this to Intruder. And we're going to do this. So first of all, we're going to change. So they said it should be a subtle one, right? So we're going to change the Carlos, since we know that that's a valid username. And we are just going to run the password section on this. So we're going to do a sniper attack. And what we're going to look for in the responses is invalid password to confirm that, or yeah, hold on. Just load passwords. And start attack. Okay. So it should be an even more subtle response received. Yay. So I'll change. It's difficult to tell when everything is so kind of close together and jumbled up. There he is. And why aren't you running? This does not make sense. FFUF request proto, just like up here, right? Request file containing the raw HTTP request, protocol, default HTTPS -w word list, file path optional keyword separated by colon. We got that. And those are correct too. Passwords, usernames, path the request, mode cluster bomb. Why aren't you running? What the problem is? Input command flag, or the input command flag is required. Command producing the input overrides. We don't want the override of the -w, so it's something in our word list. Desktop. Is it? Let me open up a new OCD desktop. S D USERS. I spell my name wrong. USERS. Akakura. Huh. I don't know what's going on with it. Why it's doing that. It's just the one error, and it doesn't appear to be the word list. let's go ahead and type it out. We will, just to be sure. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with it. FFUF dash request. Users. No. Okay, that's correct. USN fuzz, PWD fuzz. Now we need to check our file names. PS USNS auth PS PWDS auth.txt on all of them. Request txt. I mean, that should be good to go. I don't understand why it's hanging up like this. Let me copy. Copy. And we'll exit out of this. We'll see what this is up to. Did I even start that? Oh, good. So it's finished. All right, let's take a look and see what this did. So we just did Carlos, remember? So there's no status code differences. And the responses are sort of all over the place. And we will see, what did it say? Via subtly different responses. We're looking for where it says invalid username or password. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look for that exact match for this. And we're just going to go ahead and go through all of them. Scrolling through, I don't see any differences. No difference in response code, so we're gonna do 3339 as the baseline. 3360. Let's do. So I would imagine that it's gonna do something like that. The subtle difference. Response received 400. Maggie. Carlos, not solved. Huh. Discard. I don't know. I really don't know why this is not running. We're gonna take out the fuzz and that, and we're gonna go back. I'm gonna open up the request again. And we're going to just take out the fuzz out of it because that might be tripping it up. It says it has something to do with the username. And then this is probably all jacked up. Space. So we're good to go. Control C, command prompt again. Bring it over here for you. Control V. Again. SERS. Akakura. Desktop. Desktop. I don't understand why this isn't going through. All right. Do something drastic. Control C. Open new window. Oh, brother. Okay, this time I am going to clear this out. Clear all. I'm going to say Akura. I am going to add this, and we're going to do, clear this out, and we're going to see which one says invalid password. Passwords. No, did I do that wrong? I'm testing the usernames. And we'll start the attack. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out, just like it told us last time here, where we did Carlos and just enter password. So you see how when we did Hackakura and testing, it gave us this invalid username or password, right? So log in again, it does the same thing. And we'll go Argentina. We know that this one was 13, 13, 13, 13, something like that. So it'll probably have something to do with it won't be the response code, it will be the length, right? And we'll look for outliers first. And we'll look at the response. See if it has a valid username or password. 3339 3360. $32.52. So it's supposed to be subtle too. Oh, cancel. Continue. Attack in the background. I don't know what that's going to do to us. I don't know why the hell this UF isn't working. So we're going to go. Instead of doing this, why don't we kind of do the same kind of concept that we're trying to do with the thing here, and we're just going to go username, and we're just going to do the password. So we'll go since we know that that's a valid username, yes, and we'll just do the password list. See, because if it works, now we did that this time, and we got this here. I did that wrong. I'm trying to figure out if it's one of these or the other. Go ahead and run that again so it's on deck. Huh. There's an idea for you if you're interested. Make a tool that, like, basically you could probably do that with AI, where it corrects your payloads. You know what I'm saying? So you type that into the query and say, hey, what's wrong with my payload? And then it'll tell you. I don't know what is wrong, so we don't need this. We don't need that. The request is correct, and it's just saying either the word list, so it's one of the something to do with the word list. Akakora. Users. Usernames. .txt. -w. It's like, because if we kept going up, right? Here's the one that worked before. We had it doing. So what I need to do is copy this and see how it's different from the stuff that we have. Control V. So dash request users Akakura dash mode. Oh, I didn't even have request proto in there because it's default, so we don't need it. Maybe that is why. Just go up here. And that's throwing us off. So if we don't need that and it's default, there's no point in. And additionally, I'm pretty sure that request proto is, oh, it was 2 of those. All right, so we're gonna try this again. And our request is good to go. Carlos, we're gonna go username, control S, and we'll try it again because we didn't have request proto on our last one. Oh, wouldn't you know, that was a problem. So sometimes the program doesn't even direct you to the correct thing that you need to do, which is a pain in the butt. What a jerk. What a jerk. So far, it's not finding us any of these. I would imagine that's not always going to be the case. We are not filtering by anything at all. We're just running it straight. Raw dogging it, as it were. And I have no idea how or where this but we'll see. It should be a subtle difference, but it's not finding anything at all. And the thing is with this is it's not going to give us. It is weird that it's not giving us the results. I would expect it to, like it did last time, where it just given us a bunch of results to look at. It's not even doing that, so I don't know exactly what's going on. It's not even giving us any. It's not even giving us any freaking things, you know? Look at Peter. Is it because the request is wrong? I think that's why. I think I accidentally took the and out of it. Hold on, let me try to see. I think it's because I took the and out of that. Because if you look over here, go to repeater, it says username and then equals and password. But here, there's no and. So we're going to add that and back in, and we're going to Control S. Saved that, and we're going to run this again, and hopefully it will give us the correct deal. See what I'm saying? There we go. So we have a 1328 and a 1319 for the word count. We have a buttload of these different ones. The lines are 65 and 66. So we are going to have to So the only thing that's really consistent is that we could filter out for would be the status. The words seem to be going between 1319 and 1328, no matter what. And this size is just all over the place. Like we'd have to narrow down first by other things, like run 1319 only first, and then filter out by size, or filter by through size, then run 1328 and filter out through size. Except for I have not seen any status, anything else besides 200s. But remember, it's subtle. Like that status is going to pop out at you. And additionally, the last one that we did, that's how it was different. And the sizes here are it's like 3230, 3220, 3240, 3250. I just saw something pop up. 3000. I'm trying to see if there's like a common theme with this size. I'm seeing 3251 a lot, 3252, 3248. I'm seeing a buttload of 3252s. So we can do Control C, go up here again. We're gonna go filter size and 3252, and comma 32, 33 is another one that I keep seeing again and again and again and again and again. 51. And 50. I can't remember if this one is like order sensitive or whatever. But we'll see. I'm still seeing 19 and 28 for the word size. For the words over here. And I'm not seeing anything drastically change. Remember, it said that the lab said it was subtle. Like, so it's not meant to be like a big change, you know? So I'm trying to see, are there things that pop up more than others? You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that we've done so far. I'm seeing 32, 34 pop up and 32, 32 pop up a lot too. We're going to let it, I'm going to let it run through its entire thing now. And just to see if there's any difference in status codes, because we haven't ran through any of that yet. Get rid of this. Send this over here. I'm still seeing 32 31s a lot, 32 32s, 32 49 a lot, and 32 34s. But when it's subtle, like they said, doing that can actually make your answer get filtered out. I remember I did that one time. I filtered out the answer. And I ran the test again and again and again and again and tried to figure out what it was, and they just couldn't figure it out. Sometimes the FFUF or FUF won't be the tool, the correct tool for the job, you know. I just saw 3225 run through. That's pretty different. I mean, compared. But we're coming up on 3 hours, so I think after this test, it sucks. I want to get through more labs for you guys too, you know, so you can see more in one go, as opposed to me having to figure it out, or because it's not like I understand the concept, I understand the how, you know, and I even have some experience with the tools, but Like, I don't know. I don't want to waste your guys' time and just have you sit here and watch me run a bunch of tools against this stuff and then not have it work, and then try to figure it out and not have it work. And but then, you know, then again, that's hacking stuff. You'd probably be even more bored if you watch me do bug bounty, because it's just me, you know, here on Burp Suite, going over here on the this and like going through all of these and seeing if there's anything interesting, and then doing like a login and getting the cookie that it refers to me as, and then logging in with another account and getting it the other one, and saving all these requests to different things. Yeah, I mean, it's really boring to watch. I think it's not boring to do, because you're trying to find strings to pull on, you know. I saw one 3220 something, and I haven't seen anything else like that. And I'm not saving this to a file just because I don't know how to like do grep and stuff for what do you call it, for Windows or any of that, you know. I don't know how to like search through a Word document for specific things. There was another 3220 something that just passed. Giveaway. And again, I haven't seen a single change in status code at all. And you know, they program that stuff into those web applications, so it doesn't give you information. It's like the same reason why it's harder to find SQL, is because they figured out how to make the application just like not give you that information. Getting close. 32. The problem is that if you do too many of these filters like this, especially with the size and them specifically mentioning that it could be subtle, that it you could actually filter out the result that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I have not seen change very often, or at least between, I just saw it. I'm actually gonna do that next, because I just saw that. I just saw it. So it, instead of filtering by size, I keep seeing it pop between words, and it goes 1319 and 1328. I saw it do a 1320. So let me do, is it word count? FFUF-H. Is it WC? FW. Okay, so instead of doing that, I'm going to do FW. Up here again, 1328 and 1319. There we go. See that? 1329. So that's getting us closer to what should be. See, I knew I saw 1320 in there. And it's going to be subtle too. Remember, 3248 was like the most common thing that I was seeing throughout here. And we don't, the status codes are staying the same. This is giving us a lot. There's still a lot in here, but that's a heck of a lot less than what we were doing before. Again, no changes in status codes so far that I can tell. These are all 200s. And doing it by words really did that. But so we have 1329, 1320, and doing that knocked out a bunch of them. I'm gonna try to, like, because what you're gonna end up doing, I think, in order to find this, is you'd have to do the word count first. You probably have to knock out another one. Being as that I'm not seeing 1329 as much as I am 1320, like it's like a 2 to 3 to 1, I would probably get the 1320 out of there and see what the 1329 said, and then start filtering out by size. There's 3252. What's the next 1329? 3252. Or maybe I would take the 30, 32, 48, okay, 52. Because that, like, so what I'm thinking about is like 1329 is less than the 1320. It's appearing less than the 1320. So if we take 1320 out and then we have the size, what is the size between? You know what I'm saying? And the most common one I'm seeing is 3252 for the 1329. Which means that if you filtered that out, then it would give you, we're just narrowing the results, narrowing and narrowing, continuing to do that as much as possible. But it seems like the 1329 is, the word count 1329 is between 3252 and 3240 something. And again, I'm not seeing a single status code change. At least I haven't spotted one. But this considerably narrows down our results. It was like 7 scroll ups with my finger to get to the top, as opposed to, you know, how much it was before. 1329. Like, I wouldn't think that it would be root a. You know what I'm saying? 3235. I think I'm gonna filter out the 1320 next, just to see what that does. And look at 1329 for word count. We're almost done, so I'm just gonna let it go. Okay, we're gonna filter out that 1320. And see what it does again. This should only pop us up like maybe 50 requests. We'll try it. Root and QWERTY. That's not it. Root and 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it. $50, $52, $49. I don't think we're going to do that. We're going to solve this particular lab today. But I tell you what, this is a lot better for me, funner for me, more realistic for me than TryHackMe. That stuff was irritating me a lot. You know? So it looks like 3252 seems to be the prevailing size for this. So I'm going to go ahead and Control C. I'm going to -FS 3252 and get that going. So we're filtering the response size 3252 out, and the 1319, 1328, 1320. Now it says this one. So the lab is subtly vulnerable to username enumeration and password brute force attacks. It has an account with a predictable username and password, which can be found with the following word lists. We have those already saved. I remember when I did this before, I actually made two separate word lists, or two sets of word lists, and I actually wrote a Python script to compare them to make sure that they were the same, and they were. To solve the lab, enumerate a valid username. So I think that's what you have to do first. You have to, if I remember correctly on this one, you have to find which username is correct. Then once you find that username that's correct, then you run it against the password brute forcer. And the reason you're doing that is similar to how we're having problems here with figuring out like filtering by size and everything. So we're probably gonna have to come back to this one to do, but I really like the Port Swigger Web Academy, even though it's mildly difficult at the moment. It gets pretty hard when you get up there. I can't remember how many labs I completed. I think I did all of the, there's like a, what do you call it there? Oh yeah, so there's apprentice and practitioner ones, like levels or whatever. I did, and then like when you go to your dashboard, it says you completed, you know, this number of the apprentice. I completed all of the apprentice ones, and like I think a quarter to a half of the practitioner level before. Again, there's no nope. Back here. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and stop now. All right, so we have that kind of worked out. Save this. We're gonna go save PUF. Go ahead and get off here. So I got other stuff to do. I got to roll through. We'll just not do that one. I got to roll through and look at some object-oriented programming stuff in regards to like coding. It's like on my dashboard here. My account. No. Certifications. Research Academy. View your progress. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. So I completed all of the apprentice ones, and I got like half or a quarter to a halfway through the practitioner. I think that once I can't remember which one it is, but like I think once you're done with the practitioner and a few of the expert ones, I think you're able to test for their certification or something. But anyway, we got most of this was informational, and we got through one of the labs. Sorry about the the craziness, having to, you know, witness all the BS that happened. But I think we got a pretty good run on there for the time being. I'm going to go ahead and close this down just because I don't want it going. And I'm going to close this to, yeah. So I got to do some object-oriented programming because some of that stuff is kind of slightly confusing me, and I'm probably going to have to refactor some of my code for my app. And additionally, I'm going to watch through a couple TK-Enter tutorials so I can spend more time coding and less time like having you watch me read the documentation. And it's just like, I want to get like a general sense. It's been, I don't know, like a year and a half since I watched the 38-minute TK-Enter tutorial that I showed you guys on the last dev stream. We moved away from PySide 6 because their documentation is absolutely bad. It's horrible. There's barely any examples. It's hard to find stuff. It's confusing. You're having to separate or switch between 3 different sets of documentation and then go and find the function call. And then when you click into that and you click on the thing, it's not giving you any examples at all. And then I thought it was just me being a beginner, but I asked Google, like, why PySide 6 documentation suck? And it was like PySide 6 is notoriously garbage for documentation. Everybody's bitching and complaining about it. So I was like, okay, it's not just me. Well, why don't I just, go with TK-Enter? TK-Enter, generally speaking, looks like it looks like old Windows 95 stuff. You know what I'm saying? Stop that. Go full screen. We'll go TK-Enter. If you look at so this is kind of what I'm looking at doing, but most of the time it looks like this, which is not bad, but at the same time it's like, it's just bad. So we found out that there's a add-on library or a wrapper library called custom TK-Enter that you can use TK-Enter as the backbone and then use the custom TK-Enter as a skin, and it gives you something that looks like this, right? This to me is tolerable. I'm fine with that. That's okay, right? And you can change the colors. And the cool thing about the custom TK-Enter is that in a JSON file, it has for like these buttons and the slider and the checkboxes and the whatever else that you are going to have. It has like presets that you can set up, and you store that in a JSON file. You just go and you mess with the things. And so then when you're making these, it's making them all the same, which is really helpful too for repeating things. But this is, it's a pretty good example. Something kind of how I'm going to have my stuff. I'm going to have like a little sidebar. I don't know yet how to do it, but if I really want it to be able to collapse and expand, you click on like a little double arrow thing and it pops out, and you click on your different things. You guys see me do that before, but I have to go watch some tutorials. I didn't save them here. I saved them on my other profile. I have to go watch some tutorials on that so I can get better. And then, even better if I can get it to look really good or whatever. So, yep, that's what I'm going to be doing. And tomorrow, I will be live streaming a dev stream, even though it's not marked on the schedule. And the reason I don't mark it is just in case something happens and I don't end up doing it. But yeah, if we can get our custom TK-Enter to look like this, a little bit better. I mean, obviously not pixelated, but you know what I mean. we'll be doing good. I'll be happy with that. So this is Hekakura. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you. I'll see you the next tomorrow on the dev stream if I'm going to be doing that, and if not, the next hacking stream, which will be more Port Swigger, and we'll pick up where we left off. All right, thank you guys. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon, wherever it is, whatever you are.